You love mountain biking. You go out riding whenever you can and watch loads of YouTube videos when you can't.
Oh, that's all right.
And then one day you think, I could do that. So here's why you should and shouldn't start your own YouTube MTB channel. First, the negatives. Number one is the cost. On top of your already over-expensive bike, you're going to need a camera. A new one is going to cost you around £400 to £500. Then you're going to need a laptop or computer to do your editing. Again, not cheap. Next, you might want a drone or second camera to get those all-important third-person shots to make your edits more cinematic and exciting. The next negative is how much time it takes up. You'll have to do your research on all the gear you need. Then, when you're riding, there's all the faff filming, and it's not just strapping on a camera, there's all the walking up and down, setting up those third-person shots. Then you have to download all your footage before the real work of editing starts. Okay, now you have to process your edit and upload it to the tube. I'd estimate that on average a 15-minute video takes 6 to 8 hours of editing, plus downloading, processing and uploading another 3 to 4 hours, but at least you can get on with other things while the computer is doing these tasks. Lastly, I hate to break it to you, but the chances are you won't get famous or make any money. Gordy of Downhill Desire did an excellent video about monetizing your channel, and even if you do get that 1,000 subscriber threshold, you'll probably earn £2.50 to £3 per 1,000 views on your channel. Unless you go viral, you won't earn enough for a cup of coffee on your next ride. Now, if you have got this far in the video, the chances are that you are interested in starting your own channel, and that is exactly the right thing to do. I'm going to focus on mountain biking, but you can do your own channel on whatever interests you. The most important thing about presenting a video is to be yourself. You can create a fantastic edit, but if you aren't genuine on screen, it won't work. Before you start filming, it's important to get your camera settings right. I'm using an old GoPro Hero 7 from 2019, and I watched all the YouTube gurus to get it right. Except I didn't.
Trust me, this one's a stinker.
Unless you're really good at colour grading and are prepared to spend a lot of time adjusting colours, use GoPro Colour rather than flat. A lot of my early videos used flat and were just that. Since I started using colour, they're a lot more natural and vibrant. So, for an average computer user like me, it's good enough. I like to start my videos with an introduction, or sometimes exciting coming up highlights before the introduction. This intro should reflect the title and thumbnail to confirm to the viewer what to expect. You can technically film an intro at any time, particularly if your plans change. If you're doing a relatively short trail, it's often better to ride it twice. Once to get a fast first-person view, then do it again to include some B-roll footage. This is where you do a lot of setting up shots, riding the feature, then retrieving your camera. You can use your first run to work out where those shots should be. If you are doing just one run, you may need to record more footage, especially if you don't know what is coming up. When you find an interesting feature, you can stop, set up a shot, and ride it. I like to record an outro to most videos. Just a quick chat about first impressions of the ride, a request to like, comment and subscribe, plus any links or thanks do you need to pass on. Sometimes I include a shot to include at the end of the video to play out under the end screens, washing the bike, walking with the camera, etc. If you do record anyone else in the video, get their permission to use the footage. You never know, you may get a new subscriber or two. Right, that's the easy bit. Now comes the hard work. First editing job is to download all your footage. This can take a while, so go do something that is actually useful. Then you have to watch every clip and decide what is usable. Write a running order plus anything you may need to edit out or move around for it to make more sense. Before you start editing, check that you have the latest version of your editor software. I use Shotcut, but there are many others you can use. Just go with what works for you. One thing that will speed up your editing is to use proxies. This is basically a lower definition working copy and really saves a lot of time. I break down the editing process into different jobs. Number 1, stitching it all together. 2, doing transitions and adding filters. 3, adjusting the audio. 4, adding any music. And 5, putting the quality back up to HD and creating a thumbnail. If you're really good at editing, you may be to do all these things at once, but I like to work in a simple, linear way, regularly saving the project as I'm working and happy with the latest thing I've done, and, this is important, saving as a new file for each step, just in case something goes really, really wrong. After stitching everything together, play back what you've got. Be very critical about what is going to add value to your edit and prepared to scrap any dull footage, but remember, keep any good commentary that you can use elsewhere in the video. Try to give yourself a decent amount of time to work on your project too. There's no point doing a couple of minutes at a time. You need to get into a flow. I find having music on in the background helps me to work, and being of a certain vintage, I have my favourites. Once you are happy with your running order, it's time to do your transitions between clips. I use a mix of fade out and fade in, and merges, depending on how the clips work together. This is the stage where I insert any written comments and green screens, such as like, comment and subscribe, plus links to any routes or GPX files. Next stage is adjusting the volume. I'm fairly quietly spoken, so I may have to boost the gain. If any clips have too much background noise, this can be turned down, or if really necessary, another audio clip can be copied over. Once you're happy with these levels, it's time to add any music you want to use. There are plenty of resources to access royalty-free music. This is ideal to use on drone shots or long trail sections, just to keep them interesting. Choose something suitable. Mellow for gentle fast flow, uplifting for glorious scenery, or rock or techno for fast downhill. Right, that's all your editing done. Phew, it's time to convert files back to HD and come up with a thumbnail. Some creators come up with the thumbnail first and build the video around that, but I prefer to find a shot that reflects the theme of the video, then add my own text and graphics. Over time, you will build up your own identity. For example, YouTube royalty Andy Childs of Trailfinder does thumbnails that you know are his without having to read the text. Up-and-coming whippersnapper Gordy of Downhill Desire uses a clever mix of different coloured text to make his thumbnail stand out. When you're happy with yours, save it, and your editing is done. It's important to have a full run-through of your project at this point to make sure there are no glitches. Now is the time to iron out any imperfections. When you're finally ready, it's time to render your project. This is going to take a while, so go and do something else. When it's done, play your video on a larger screen to make sure it is rendered correctly. And if you're satisfied, it's time to upload it to YouTube. The process itself is fairly self-explanatory, just do it one step at a time. Make sure you have a catchy, relevant title and a thorough description, mentioning places, people, and anything else that viewers may search for on YouTube. If you have used royalty-free music, you must give credit or risk a copyright strike. Too many, and you'll be shut down. There's a whole genre of videos out there of what tags and settings to use, but basically use hashtags that apply to your video. I like to mention similar channels to try and network with other creators, though I've no idea if this actually works. I'll also include links to routes on Komoot or Strava, or websites of places I've visited. You can add end cards which show the viewers other videos of yours, and this is why you recorded that extra scene at the end of the ride. One important setting is initially to make the video private, so when it is finally uploaded, you can watch it on the big screen before anyone else. Actually uploading the video is going to take ages, so again, go and do something else. I have had to scrap projects at this stage because of definition issues, but it's worth all the pain of re-editing to get your video looking the best it can possibly be. Once you're happy your edit looks epic, you can make it public straight away or schedule it when you think it has the best chance of being seen. Okay, so you've made the best YouTube video ever, and those views and subscribers are going to start rolling in, right? Right? Initially, nothing is going to happen. Oh, here's the problem. Nobody's watching your videos because YouTube won't recommend them. YouTube won't recommend your videos because nobody's watching them. This is where you need to beg and bribe your family and friends to watch and like your video and subscribe to your channel. You can post links on social media and any suitable Facebook groups you are in, and eventually those views, likes and subscribers will come. It's also worth interacting with similar channels. They will love the support too, and it helps YouTube to see that yours is an active channel worth recommending to viewers. Add more videos, and providing they're mildly entertaining and well produced, your numbers will start to grow. Woohoo! But remember, the most important thing about these videos is that they are for your benefit. So in years to come, when you're in that nursing home, you can look back at a really cool point in your life and say, I used to be a mountain biker. And in the meantime, if anybody else likes your videos, well, that's just the icing on the cake. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does make a big difference to a small channel like mine. I'd like to thank everybody that already has joined Bob the Bimbler, and here's a huge shout out to the fellow YouTubers that have allowed me to use their material. Thanks for watching. Now, go out and make some videos of your own epic adventures.